Well, it's time to do an oil change on my 2022 Dodge Ram 1500 EcoDiesel. I called the dealer and they said what's actually listed for the vehicle is a Pennzoil 5W40, but they typically use Shell Rotella, the T6 Shell Rotella. Now it's supposed to have an API rating of SN. That's the minimum that you can put in the EcoDiesel. And on the Shell Rotella, it doesn't have that rating, but it does have the, I think it's CK4 rating. Apparently that's fairly synonymous with SN. I don't actually know. So I was a little worried about using the Shell Rotella, but it sounds like most dealers, that's what they're putting in the EcoDiesels. So it can't be bad, I wouldn't think. What I ended up going with, I found this Castrol Edge. It bothered me a little that it said Eurocar, but it does have the correct weighting, which is 5W40, and it has an API SP rating, which is the highest rating. I called the dealer and asked them about this, and they said this would be a great oil to put in the vehicle. One of the issues, anybody that's ever done a oil change on one of these EcoDiesels, the oil pan drain bolt is directly above a framing member, which is not that big of a deal. I mean, it gets oil in the framing member, you just wipe it off with your shop towel or whatever. But I ended up buying this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the video description below, so check this out. But this is a bolt. This is the part that threads into the actual oil pan, and it's got this nice crush washer. And then it has this cap with this gasket around. It's actually two gaskets. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like this flimsy black one, but there's also like an O-ring black gasket on the top there. And even if this cap is off, oil won't come out of here. There's a little ball valve in here. And to activate that, you have to use this, and you screw it in. And once you've screwed in a full rotation, the oil will start draining, and then keep screwing it in, and it will open up that valve all the way. And this will just keep it clean, and it should make it a little quicker. And I won't have to replace a crush washer every time I do my oil, so that's nice. So I've never used one of these. I thought I'd give it a try and just see. It should make the oil change a little bit more convenient, but I don't know, because I've never used one before, so I just thought I'd experiment with it and give it a try. I also got a Wix oil filter. A word to the wise, if you buy these online, it'll be about $30 cheaper than if you get it at AutoZone or O'Reilly's or, Napa. At the dealer, they charge you about 200 bucks for the Mopar part. My personal opinion is that the Wix is a higher quality product. Let's get started. I'll take you underneath, we'll drain out the oil, but first I'm going to pop the hood open and open up the oil fill cap so that it can drain more easily. Here's the oil cap, just confirming 5W40 is the correct oil to be using in these. So I've taken that off, and now this will drain a lot better. There's a framing member right here in the front. All right, that should give me more than enough room to maneuver. Don't forget your jack stands. All right, this is a 13 millimeter bolt. There we go. It's gonna be a mess. You'll see this framing member right here is just gonna get covered in oil, which is why I want to put this new plug in. I just think it'll be a lot better. Okay. Here's the new bolt. And I just coated this, there's a little rubber inside the crush washer, so I just coated that with oil, clean oil. All right, that looks pretty well cleaned off. All right, now obviously I don't have that tight yet. Let's try the crescent wrench on this. I can feel that crush washer engaging. I'm pretty happy with how tight that is. Now, if I were you, I would not use the deep well. As you can see, it fits in there, but as you start to loosen it, it'll hit this, like your ratchet on top plus the filter coming out, it'll hit this. You can make it work and get it out by hand after you loosen it somewhat, but I would recommend using a short well, 27 millimeter, which is exactly what I've got. All right, I think that's drained sufficiently. I'm just gonna tip this up. There we go. Here's the new filter. Just a side-by-side comparison with the old filter. It looks like I had an STP in there before. Let's clean that up just a little bit. Just cleaning up those mating surfaces. Gonna hand thread this right on the top. I doubt you can see that, but it's 25, the torque is 25 Newton meters. Oh, there it goes. God, I wish every part was labeled with the torque specs. That sure makes it easy. I'm not gonna do a whole quart of this. I'm told that this is a little bit controversial. The reason it's controversial is because it dilutes your oil. This doesn't have any detergents in it. It just, this is what I was told. I don't know if any of this is true. So this is what I heard. It doesn't have detergents. It dilutes your oil down. So instead of doing a whole quart, I'm just gonna try to hit that sweet spot. I'm gonna do half a quart of this. Instead of 8.5 quarts of oil, I'll do 8 quarts of oil. So I'm told by the guys at the auto shop, put this in first because it's lighter weight. And then when you put the oil in on top of it, it'll kind of mix it together. So that's probably all I'm gonna put in. That's about half a quart. Just so I don't get any hate, I have already replaced the air filter. So there's an O-ring on your oil fill cap. Wipe it down, and I'm just hitting that with some clean oil just to make sure I get a good seal on that. All right, let's throw it back in. I like these Home Depot buckets to put my used oil in. They're a pretty safe and secure way to transport your used oil because they've got a nice lid that latches on, and it saves you the hassle of having to re-pour this into the small containers. So it's just easier, less hassle. And I'll take this over to the local auto parts store and they will recycle it, and this will become 2-stroke engine oil like for lawnmowers and weed eaters and stuff like that. Almost all of it. And then I'll wipe all this out, but I'm not going to do that on camera because nobody wants to see that. I'm going to clean out my funnel, wipe it all down, and take this to go get recycled. And I got the lid on securely, so I don't need to worry about it spilling. All right, let's start the truck up, see how it sounds. Now we just need to reset the oil life. So let's do that on camera so everybody can see in case you don't already know how to do it. Oh, to reset oil life, engine must be off with ignition and run. So I'm gonna turn it off. And then I'm gonna set the ignition to run. So you just double tap this button, hit it once, and then hit it a second time while your gauges come on. And now I'm gonna come down here to oil life, hold OK, and there it is, 100%. And that's how you do it. Now it's time to go take that used oil to the auto parts store and get it recycled. Good luck to you guys, hope it goes well.